And spin key. Mike Kilo.
Wednesday, we've been tracking wildfire smoke for the last couple of
What about
days.
Fiona
That
Alpha?
haziness aloft. Well, it's going to get a little bit thicker, and we have some air quality problems at the surface. I'll let you know if that will
Mike
impact
Heather?
us here in the Twin Cities. Coming up.
What?
We go live to Philadelphia with how both campaigns are
Where do you want
reacting
Fiona
to
Bravo?
how their
Mike AJ.
presidential candidate did in
What?
the debate.
Plus, local political leaders give their reactions
Where
to
you
what
want Fiona
happened
Charlie?
on that
Mike
debate
Heather?
stage.
And
What?
what to expect as the quickly intensifying
Pretty red,
Hurricane
red
Francine
32.
is bearing down on the Gulf Coast.
Sound red key. Wait, two ready anchors.
This is WCCO Mornings, always streaming on CBS News
Mike
Minnesota.
anchors. Cue 'em.
Good Wednesday morning to you. Thanks so much for being here with us. I'm Heather Brown.
And I'm AJ Hilton. We
What do
have
you
a
want?
lot to get to this morning, including reaction from the debate. Of course,
Mike
today's
Joseph, go
23
one,
years
take.
marking 9/11. And of course, we got to check in with Joseph Dames tracking the forecast. Joseph, smoke could be an issue today.
Ready, three.
Yeah, I think that's our next weather factor for today. Obviously, we know it's going to be warm. We've been discussing that for the last few days. But we actually have some
You take.
smoke that's starting to reach down into the surface levels of the atmosphere,
Yeah,
which means that
40,
air quality, when you step outside,
40,
is going to be a
40?
little bit lower. It could
Yes.
impact you, and you may smell a little bit of smoke as we go through the day today.
cold and rainy,
Whereas
like,
at its
just
worst,
now,
is
so
up
I'm
through the
gonna have
Red
the full
River
10 story
Valley, and
to
this
be
is where it's
blocked
going
too,
to
Copy
be
that.
when I get there.
likely the lowest for the day, and is anticipated to kind of creep
40,
to the
40
east as
is
well.
out.
So
That's the
could
second
be as
element
far
of tease.
southeast as areas of like Alexandria today that could potentially see a hit to the air quality. Now there's a air quality alert through Bemidji, down through Wadena, over through Otter Tail County,
do a key
over
through the
into
traffic
areas like
next.
Fergus Falls, until tomorrow morning. All right, so not only is it going to be hazy aloft, it's also going to be a little smoky
It's on
down
Del
towards
One
the
now.
surface as well. All right, 67 for the Twin
Oh,
Cities,
it's also on
Rochester at
9
58,
still.
and we have some
9's
50s
where I
and
put it.
60s over in
Oh.
western Wisconsin.
Oh.
This batch of rain right
They
here
switched
is what
whatever
moved
was on
through
Del One.
yesterday is completely gone, and I'm not expecting another wave as we go through today. We do have some fog up to the northwest there, so things are very stagnant up to the northwest there, and that's one reason why they will be dealing with air quality problems as we go into the afternoon. For us, the next 6 hours, expect that sunshine to come up and stay there, and it should be fairly nice day. It's going to feel like it's August again. Highs already by lunchtime in the lower 80s, and we should top off today right around the mid 80s. But I do want to break down
There's
the
two of
afternoon
those
forecast,
cute little
'cause
fluffy
that smoke's
kitties.
going to be in and out. So I'm going to do that by talking about
Stand
that
by,
smoke
ready,
weather
key through
model.
traffic.
And then we'll get into your weekend forecast coming up too in just a few minutes.
Mike AJ. Key.
Joseph, thank you. 6:02 is your time. Let's focus on your next drive. Things are looking really great. Let's take you down to Lakeville.
Ready,
Viewpoint
Lakeville,
from
Bravo,
35
both
at County
Mikes,
Road
that'll be
50.
three,
You see a couple
camera
cars
two.
on the roads, not running into any problems, no slowdowns. Now let's take a look at the map this morning. Again, we're not following any major slowdowns, no accidents, no construction zones that are going to slow you down. Things looking good in our 6 o'clock hour.
Mike and both.
This
What?
morning, reaction is pouring in
42.
about Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald
Does
Trump's
all.
highly anticipated
Where do you sound in
debate.
Charlie?
For about 90 minutes, the candidates went head to head on some of the nation's top issues. They also took some intense shots at one another.
Sound take 31 seconds.
This is so rich.
3.5 years is the
Coming from
outcue.
someone who has been prosecuted for national security
Back on,
crimes,
three.
economic crimes, election interference, has been found liable for sexual assault, and his next big court appearance is in November at his own criminal sentencing.
So
Stand
she
by.
just started
Pretty
by
free.
saying she's going to do this, she's going to do that, she's going to do all these wonderful things. Why hasn't she done it? She's been there for
She's
three
not
and a half
president?
years.
Mike take you.
And we will have a live report from Philadelphia
42.
with all the debate's big moments that you may have missed. That's coming up in just
Mike
2
Bolt.
minutes. But first,
You take
we know the
3
Minnesotans
boxes,
certainly
2
have
and
a lot
Del
to
8.
say
Stand by
after
the live
last night's
desk. Stand by
debate.
Pauline.
That's especially true among our local political leaders.
Mike,
Pauline
live desk,
Lee joining
take.
us at the live desk this morning with a closer look at some of their
Okay,
reactions.
Del 8.
Pauline?
Hi, good morning, guys. Yeah, it's really
Take.
what you'd expect the reaction
All right.
to be. Very much
Gonna
along
be a
party
bunch of
lines
full
and a
screens
strong
here. Ready,
response
Red?
from our Democratic leaders. So let's start with
Hey,
Democratic
Jared,
Senator
we got
Amy
you in about
Klobuchar,
2
quoting
minutes or
Harris
so.
saying,
2
I
minutes.
intend to be a president for all Americans. Now, she effectively made that case to the country, Democrats, Independents, and yes,
We're gonna lead with
Republicans.
local reaction
Democratic
here, so
Senator
it'll be
Tina
kind of a
Smith
quick
also
toss
said
here,
amazing
just so
job by
you're
Vice
aware.
President Harris tonight, never losing her focus on the American people and fighting for them, even as Donald Trump flailed and wailed. And Congresswoman Ilhan Omar reacting to the former president's performance last night, saying he just looks sad and miserable. Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison quoting Trump saying, I have concepts of a plan, said the guy who was president for 4 years. This was in reference to Trump's response to repealing Obamacare. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry piggying on that, saying Sarah, his wife, asked me what my plans were for kid drop-off tomorrow. I told her, I have a concept of a plan. I can't believe my answer wasn't satisfactory. Now, on the Republican side, Representative and House Majority Whip Tom Emmer said the world is on fire, fueled by the Harris-Biden administration's incompetence on the world stage. That's why Putin has endorsed Harris. Vote for Donald Trump if you don't want Kamala Harris to walk us into World War III. And another prominent Republican, former Wisconsin governor and one-time Republican president of hopeful Scott Walker, posted on X, remind everyone that Kamala Harris cannot defend the economic failures since she and Biden took office on January 20th, 2021. We are not better off and will not be until she is out of office. Now, local organizations are also chiming in. We're going to hear from them coming up in about 30 minutes. But as you'd expect, a lot of reactions in their first debate.
Right, and we know you also looked for more reaction from some of our Republican congresspeople there and haven't been able to find some of that this morning. All right, Pauline, thank you.
We do now want to check in with CBS News' Jared Hill, who is live in Philadelphia with a recap of some of the biggest debate moments and also early reaction, Jared, from the candidates themselves.
Hey, Heather and AJ. So you have both of these candidates, as well as Trump, saying that they won this debate. But even some Trump allies are acknowledging that the vice president came to play.
Sound tape.
Runs for a minute 40. Kicked off the first meeting between former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris. But the 90-minute debate soon turned into a sparring match over issues like the economy.
I guess your computer doesn't want to
imagine and have actually a plan to build what I call an opportunity economy.
I had no inflation, virtually no inflation. They had the highest inflation.
Abortion.
For years, they wanted to get it out of Congress and out of the federal government. And we did something that everybody said couldn't be done.
The government, and Donald Trump certainly, should not be telling a woman what to do with her body.
And immigration.
They've destroyed the fabric of our country. Millions of people let in.
What we have in the former president is someone who would prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem.
The former president even spreading misinformation about migrants in Ohio.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats.
He also repeatedly worked to link Harris to President Joe Biden, who dropped out of the race in July.
She is Biden. She's trying to get away from Biden.
I am not Joe Biden, and I am certainly not Donald Trump. And what I do offer is a new generation of leadership for our country.
Both candidates continue to make their case after the debate. Vice President Harris greeted supporters at an event here in Philadelphia, while former President Trump claimed victory while speaking to reporters.
This was my best debate. I thought it was very good.
This is very much two different visions for our country.
Stand by.
Both campaigns taking a pause today to mark 23 years since the September 11th attacks are back in the swing states tomorrow.
Mic dissolve cue.
Now, when it comes to the possibility of a second Harris-Trump debate, nothing is on the books right now, but we do know that the Harris camp has said that they would like to see the former president on the debate stage again. Yesterday, former President Trump said it's something that he would consider. We do know, though, guys, that their vice presidential candidates, as of now, are set to go head-to-head in a debate of their own on October 1st on CBS. Back to you.
Jared Hill reporting for us from Philadelphia this morning. Thank you.
I want to get to one of the other big stories we're continuing to follow this morning and give you a live look from Galveston, Texas. This is where people are preparing for Hurricane Francine. We know this storm is gaining strength ahead of it making landfall on the Gulf Coast. Forecasters say it could be a Category 2 storm by its anticipated landfall by this afternoon or tonight. By the way, a Category 2 storm, that would be winds of 96 to 110 miles per hour. So this storm is no joke. Francine, more than 200 miles off the coast as of this morning. It could bring flooding, heavy rainfall, powerful winds, potentially life-threatening storm surge as well. And here's Joseph now with a preview of our forecast back here at home. How are things looking on this Wednesday?
Okay, it's going to be dry, it's going to be warm, but we do have some moisture in the forecast. I am tracking maybe a few showers heading into the week, and you can see all that moisture that's going to get pulled up from Francine. And it's going to even impact us here locally. We'll talk about that coming up.
Mike AJ White.
We're also live in Eden Prairie this morning with some cute companions for your next yoga workout.
Standby break. And the break is rolling. We're clear. Okay. Kitty looks like a little cotton ball. All right, anchors to the fly stand.
Yep, I can hear Shayla.
Straight up to you.
Fly.
I'm sorry. Hang on.
I had to float the Reagan Smith story because Colton just ran it, and I didn't know that he had it so late. So we're just gonna.
Okay, Reagan
intro
Smith story
Shayla
5
when
and
you
6
guys
is
go back to
gone,
the
so
desk.
it'll just be weather and then to Joel.
About 3.5 away, Shayla.
Excuse me. About 120 here on the break. Charlie and spin out of it.
I do not, Shayla. Okay, sounds good.
$45 here. $30. Yes, they are at the fly. $10, standby up on VO and Charlie and spin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and spin fade. Mike Joseph, 41.
Hey, good
does
morning,
all the
everyone. We have
kills.
612 here on this Wednesday morning. I hope you had a really nice few days. If you're hopeful for some warmer temperatures, hey, we're
33.
continuing to build that heat. Today, temperatures in the mid 80s. We may even get a little bit warmer than that. I'm going to go with 85, though, and you can kind of tell that there's a bit of a haziness in the sky. That is because we are expecting some more wildfire smoke. It's here. It's probably going to be here all week, so just plan on that. It may even impact some of the
Shayla.
air quality, especially up to the northwest.
Joel,
where we
you
have
and
that air
Shayla
quality
stand
alert
by,
in place.
please.
All right, tonight, 64 degrees, pretty much clear. Southeast breeze coming in about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, just a smidge warmer even. We're gonna go with 87 degrees for the forecast high tomorrow. So that's even warm for, times in August where temperatures are averaging in the lower to mid 80s. We have 87 here in September. If we're
Yikes.
going the other direction, we'd be down about 60 degrees. So that's the way it works. All right, smoke forecast. I want to show you this. I promised that. It's going to be pretty hazy throughout the entire atmosphere, but I think where it's going to be going down
Honestly,
to the
my
surface
electric
more,
bill would like us
it's gonna
to-
be up
would
to the
like that
northwest
60 right
there.
now.
It's going to take some time for this smoke to actually clear out. You see we have some improvements on Thursday. I'll let you know when I expect this to
Mike
get
Andrews.
all the way out of here.
Stand by,
I'll have
Sheila.
my full forecast about 3 minutes.
Take.
So some might enjoy yoga as a
All right, already
relaxing
dissolved
morning
L4
workout.
and monitor.
people
Joel,
may.
stand by.
One organization in the metro is adding animals to that experience.
So the Bitty Kitty Brigade is letting some cats in on the fun, and that's where we
Mike
find
Shayla,
Sheila
dissolved.
Reeves this morning. She's at
Read
Wellspring
L4.
Health Center in Eden Prairie,
Shayla teases a cat.
playing with cats, doing yoga.
Yes, we
Take.
are, Heather and AJ. We
Okay,
are
Joel, you're up
playing
full.
with cats, but this is really all for a good cause. It
Hey,
is
Kirsten, go to
something
the
that
desk.
is brand new here at Wellspring Health Center. And Lisa Smith here, you came up with this idea. You said you were on social media, you saw this, and you said, we gotta offer it.
Yes, I have a soft spot for cats. I grew up with a lot of cats and bottle fed a litter of kittens growing up. And that's what the Beauty Kitty Brigade does, is it rescues the smallest of kittens, orphan kittens that need bottle feeding. And then eventually they need homes for these cats. So by having these yoga kitten classes, we're able to find new homes for the kittens and also just help people reduce stress and anxiety and pain. And that ties into our clinic, which is a holistic physical therapy clinic.
And so we've got one of the classes, a sample of what people can experience happening behind us here. We're gonna try to hold it. Oh my goodness. As you guys can tell, I'm getting used to
Shayla's holding a
dogs,
kitty.
and we're also learning how to
Trying
get
to
used
It's
to
like out of
cats.
there.
I think I'm in jungle gym this morning. The great part about the program is that 80% of the proceeds from these classes go towards the work that Bitty Kitty Brigade is doing. And
Correct.
this nonprofit actually helps cats that are 0 to 5 weeks
Actually
old.
doing that stretch like
make
this.
sure that they're as healthy as
Feels good.
possible. And the ones that are coming to class here
The
are
other
6
side
to
too.
10 weeks, right?
Correct. They're just on the verge of being adoptable. So at 10 weeks, they're able to be adopted out. And so what could be more fun than coming to a class? We have 12 to 15 kittens in a yoga class. And it's just fun overload, you know?
Yes. And so this is a 1-hour class. You've got a certified yoga instructor teaching the class. And you said it's beneficial not just for the socialization for the cats, but also for the people that are here.
Correct, yes. Well, again, like we're a holistic physical therapy clinic, so we see people that have pain and injuries, and we offer yoga as a way to reduce pain and also stress and anxiety. So adding the kitten element is almost like combining yoga therapy with
Eddie, we're
animal
gonna take
therapy.
Nick, right?
Have you seen
Yes,
the people
Nick,
in
your
the
shot's
class
coming up.
evolve during the experience of the class when you've added the cats?
Yes, of course, when you have a dozen kittens roaming around and interacting, people are beaming, they're smiling. It's just a happy place to be. So you can't help but love being here when this is going on.
Okay, and so the next class coming up is on Monday, right?
Monday, September 23rd. We do one class per month on a Monday evening from 7 to 8 p.m. And they fill up quickly. Within a couple days, they'll fill up. We can, and we take children ages 10 and up and adults. And all kids must be accompanied by an adult. We want to keep the kittens safe.
All right,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
Stand by the
Heather
anchors.
and AJ, I tried to make a
Like the
couple of
anchors.
new friends today, but
Thanks.
I was a wonderful jungle gym for
Yes,
the
you
friend
were.
or two that I made.
Nick, stand by.
We're gonna be out here for
Until
the next
7.
half hour or so, and coming up around 6:40, we're gonna talk to the folks at Bitty Kitty Brigade about this partnership, what it means for not only the animals, but for the organization to have a partner like this, and hopefully find homes, forever homes, for the kittens that are involved in the course.
You make an excellent jungle gym.
Keep it up.
Thank you. I do what I can.
I do what I can. All right, Shayla,
We'll
thank
check
you.
back in, thanks. Set
Nick,
outside
you're
this
up.
morning, take a live look
right, Shayla,
over
you're
at
clear.
the St. Paul's.
Joel, you're clear. Ready to be on
Skyline
Alpha. Alpha 30 boxes 2 and 1.
Nick Boki out there, all those bright lights. You can
Mike
see
Joseph.
people already hitting the roads and what's going to be a warm
Dissolve.
day ahead, Joseph.
Yeah,
boxes.
temperatures back into the 80s. It's going to be
Dissolve.
like the third day
What do
in
you
a
want?
row, and it's just going to feel like August as we head into this
Okay.
afternoon. We have a lot of reports this morning from the Weather Watcher Network, so
What do you
maybe you're
want,
going to get
Weather
out
Watcher?
and hit the road here shortly, or just go grab coffee at the coffee shop nearby. It's pretty comfortable. That's
Hey.
the best part of this time of the year is
37.
overnight we still have the cooler air moving on in, so you
Nick,
can
you're
open
clear
up
on
the
that
windows
hit,
and
and
it feels good. All right,
looks
lower
like you're at the
60s around
Capitol
Hennepin
Overlook,
County.
huh?
I'm just going to grab one of the comments around here and see what's going on. We'll go over to 63 degrees. We have Brian and Edina. Hey, Brian. Brian says a small amount of rain last evening, but not enough for the grass to green up. Yeah, that is
I love
something
that
we
shot
have
there.
to do. We are about
Dissolve.
an inch behind
It
for
looks,
the month of
it's
September.
such a good
So we haven't
spot
had
for
much rain.
bump
It's
shots
been
and
warm
things.
and it has been dry. Some of the other temperatures with the reports that you sent in this
It's
morning.
like the St.
Over
Paul
at
equivalent
Tech's
of
location
that
in Morris at
park that
55
you go to in
degrees. Kevin in
Minneapolis.
Paynesville at 60. Jacob and Melrose coming in at 58 there. So thank you so much for sending those on in. We don't always get to all the comments, but I really appreciate seeing them. It really helps with the weather story sometimes in the morning. All right, a few clouds up to the northwest. Also some patchy fog that you won't be able to see on the satellite right here. We will not be dealing with any sort of rain. This right here, that was from yesterday evening that we just saw in the comment. That continues to move eastward, and we shouldn't have
90.
any more moisture moving on.
Yeah, I didn't
for
even know
today.
it rained last
Well, there's
night.
the hurricane. This is Francine. It's going to continue to pull up to
Apparently
the
it
north.
did,
but
until I
right
got
now
out
it's
to my
approaching
car
the
and my
shore,
windshield was covered with, like,
it is bringing in
dust.
a lot of rain, a lot of moisture, storm surge, wind, all of it. So this is continuing to push up to the north and northeast. That's going to be the track there. Slicing through Louisiana, through areas of Mississippi, eventually becoming just an area of low pressure. But as it does this, it's going to pull up a lot of moisture along with it. And a way that we can use a weather model to help tell that is called the precipitable water. And this is right here, rich in moisture. It's all because of Francine and that moisture pulling up from the Gulf. I started on Friday. See what happens on Saturday? It starts to merge up to the upper Midwest here. So we're actually going to tap into some of that moisture as we head into the weekend. Nothing like what they have down south, or even for areas of maybe even southern Illinois, but enough to bring in more humidity for us and possibly a couple showers. So that's something that we're going to monitor as we head into the weekend. For today, it is dry, it is hazy. Again, highs reaching about the mid 80s for today. We will stay completely away from really any sort of real cloud coverage for today. What you see out there is going to be the haziness from the wildfire smoke. Upper 80s for tomorrow, and then we see Friday come around.
All right,
and we
anchors are
start
next on
watching for a
2.
chance for some showers and storms developing out west. So I do believe that there's a possibility for a few storms, maybe Friday night into Saturday, and then again maybe Saturday night into Sunday. 83 degrees though by Sunday afternoon for the Vikings game, 82 on Monday, and Tuesday we're still at 80 degrees. I think we break the heat with a streak of 80s probably on Wednesday of next week.
Take.
All right, Joseph, thank you.
Review and
Exercise,
probably
like cat
spin.
yoga. It can be good for you to help you lose fat, but it can also
Spin
help
take.
you store it better too.
We'll take a message from doctors about how
Pretty
to
wet for you
carry
and Charlie.
excess weight and why it's important.
And you're going to want to see the unique way a couple in North Dakota got
Stand by,
engaged
break.
with the help of a friend.
And the brake is rolling, we're clear. All right, it looks like C1 and 2 are gone.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't do that yoga pose. I can do that one, but the stretching when you, yeah. I'm very much a noob. What are they talking about? I'm not even listening.
They're talking about I guess that one of the cats peed on the instructor. And so AJ was like, I don't know why. He's like, this would make it more stressful for me to have like cats around while I'm trying to work out, kind of thing. He's like, because if you pee on me, there's gonna be a problem. He's like, goat yoga, cat yoga, none of that. And he's like, I'm not about it.
Derek has. He's done the. He did the trials. Yes, he did. Yeah, he did everything. Trust me, I wasn't happy about that because I was hoping I got to do the trial. Yep.
Nikolai Mew.
Under a minute. I'm watching this yoga on Dell 4 and I'm jealous of how flexible these people are. I can't do half those yoga poses. I've tried. I need to. I absolutely need to be completely honest. 10 away, stand by, up on 2. Here we go, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can make the anchors fade and cue.
So there's a new study that says
Pretty view and alpha.
exercise may help you store fat better.
Take.
Researchers looked at fat tissue just under the
32.
skin from 2 groups of people with obesity. According to this study, those with obesity who reported exercising regularly for at least 2 years had fat cells that had greater storage capacity compared to those who did not exercise regularly. The study's authors say more storage capacity is important. If a person does gain weight, it can avoid dangerous places like the heart or the liver.
32. Take.
One North Dakota farmer
Pretty view on
went
Bravo.
skyward to ask for his girlfriend's hand in marriage.
So Justin Lehman
Take.
used technology and precision planting to
Oh my.
form a "Will you marry me" in a soybean field.
Huh.
Now, of course, the only way Haley, the future bride, could see the proposal was from above. So Lehman had a friend who was a pilot take the couple on an aerial crop tour. Haley saw the surprise message and said yes.
Ooh, well, good.
Pretty
Glad
good.
she did.
I can imagine what that.
How long did that
Take.
take?
Wow. And yeah, it's it's like we had
It's like a
Shayla.
corn maze.
Yeah, it's just like the
Yeah.
corn maze. I'd be fascinated to
I
see
mean,
how they actually do that.
Obviously, this is in the works for months
Clearly.
because to create those soybeans and grow them. But
And the good news, she
hey,
said yes too.
congratulations,
Congratulations.
to you
Pretty
two.
view on Charlie Reese.
Voters in
Spin.
St. Paul will have a big decision to make this fall.
The
Spin
special
take.
levy on the ballot to help low-income families pay for their child
Pretty white to
care.
view on
Plus,
Alpha.
reaction continuing to pour in this morning from maybe the
Pretty white
first
to
and only
11.
presidential debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump.
White.
Let's head outside, take a live look of our next weather tower
Stand by
as we
break.
head to break. That is shining red. It's going to be a warm day ahead. Joseph, we'll have a look at your next weather forecast when we come back.
Break. Clear.
Okay. You're up, Heather Brown. It's your time to shine. I was gonna say, do not screw this up. No, I'm kidding. Going the extra mile. I love that.
What? I thought we had a specific traffic laptop out there. Surprise 1994. If it's the same laptop that I've run iNews on, it works great for
Everybody's a
iNews.
snob about something.
Okay, so it's a different laptop than it was out there before. So it takes up a whole floor of a building. Got it.
Okay.
Yeah. The laptops from the 1950s.
Yeah, I remember on Mad Men when they got a computer.
It uses punch cards.
And took like they had a whole room for it. You know, they're like, oh, we're gonna go into the computer room. And that's what
So
they
Heather,
did.
when you use this traffic laptop to pick things, do you have to use punch cards? 45. Spits out the traffic situation on one of them big papers with the the white and green
Yeah.
bars.
Yeah.
"30 seconds here up on red sound. Red will be through to VO and Bravo. Don't see Joseph yet. I hear him, but I don't see him. Stand by, up on red sound in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sound red key.
You're watching WCCO
Stand by.
Mornings, always streaming on CBS News Minnesota.
And Mike Heather, Cure.
Right now at
Pretty wet
6:30,
feeling,
we have
Charlie.
reaction from local political organizations on what they thought of the presidential debate.
Mike AJ White.
Plus, what's happening today for a man convicted of murdering a
Pretty white
transgender
feeling,
woman
Alpha.
last year.
Mike Heather White.
And the charges of a man accused of opening fire at a mall
Nick,
in
stand
Blaine,
by.
charges that he is facing this morning.
Just
Actually,
about
it's going to go
6:30
to
on
Del
this
6.
Wednesday, and we do want to give you a live look outside. Today is September 11th, 23 years since that fateful day, and right now giving you a live
40
look
boxes, 2 and
from
10.
St. Paul looking toward Minneapolis. Notice
Sorry,
that
Nick,
haze
you were-
out
you
there,
were
too.
not stable
You
enough.
may notice a little bit more of that today. Want to pause for a second
all.
just to say good morning, happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining us. I'm AJ Hilton.
And I'm Heather Brown. We got next weather
10.
meteorologist Joseph Dames on our WCCO rooftop. And you might be noticing that haze, Joseph, but it's not really going to bother us all that much here on the ground.
Yeah, I think the
Take.
air quality here, at least around the metro area, the Twin Cities, some of the counties
Pretty
nearby,
max.
still in the green, maybe yellow today, but I think overall it's not going to be
Take.
all that
Hey,
bad.
glad we
There's
took
maybe
that
some
Galveston
locations up to
picture
the
when we
north and
did.
northwest, though, today, where there is going to
'Cause
be
it,
some
uh,
air
it's
quality
now,
problems, and
New
we'll
York.
talk about that through the next half an hour. There's the
Yeah.
view. Yep, you can tell that it is a little hazy out there. That is going to be consistent all day
'Cause that's
today.
one WTC.
Temperatures, though, in the 60s right now.
AKA
I
the
have a
Freedom
light
Tower.
wind jacket on, but you know what? You probably don't need it this morning. It's not too breezy out here. It feels fairly comfortable, and this afternoon we know that it's definitely going to get pretty warm out there. All right, so there you go. There's the air quality index right now. We have green, we have yellow, but up to the north and northwest
Nick, I'll take
there,
you before
we have
weather
red,
in the next
Red
block.
River Valley there. That's unhealthy air.
So you got a while.
And that is going to be spreading eastward as we go through the day today. There's an air quality alert there. Some can see code orange, some areas can see code red. That is including Bemidji. It's including Wadena County, you folks there, over towards Otter Tail County, over towards Fergus Falls. That is going to be a problem heading into the afternoon today. 67 though in the Twin Cities, 52
10.
come off Hinckley. It's pretty comfortable. I'm just going to say it, over the next 6 hours, we're up to about 80 degrees. Today we top off in the mid-80s. Guys, that's August weather. That's July
Stand by,
weather.
already 10.
That's not September weather.
Take.
We should be about 75 degrees. I want to talk about the
Pretty
weekend
key for the
forecast because I
max
do have some
3 traffic.
adjustments. We may see some showers moving through. I'll break that down and get back down to the studio here in about 10 minutes.
Mike Dinker's key.
Thanks, Joseph. Let's take a look at your next drive. I'm going to start you out with the Metro map. You can see lots of green out there. Just
Web
starting to
Via
get a
and
little
Bravo,
busy
that'll be
with the
32.
169.
Pauline's
Down
coming
in
up.
the Shakopee area, I'm going to take you out to Edina here. So this is the crosstown right at France. Traffic moving along very nicely. This is similar to what you're seeing all across the metro. We do have a road closure though to tell you about. So this is Highway 169 northbound between Golden Valley and Maple Grove. Closes tonight, 10 p.m. So just the northbound side from 394 to 94 opens up tomorrow morning at 5.
White
Well,
Mike
just hours
AJ.
ago, Vice President Kamala Harris and
42.
former President Donald Trump wrapped up their highly anticipated debate. Razor-thin margins currently separate
Like
the two in the
both?
latest CBS
Dissolve.
News battleground polls. The candidates
Pretty
went
feeling, Charlie.
head-to-head on some of the nation's top issues.
So the more than
Take.
90-minute debate soon turned into a sparring match
Pretty
over
sound
issues
Alpha.
like the economy and immigration. Former president spread misinformation about migrants in Ohio, claiming they were stealing pets and eating them. Now, both candidates continued to make their case after the
Sheila,
debate.
about
Vice
5
President
minutes,
Harris
16,
greeting
5 minutes.
supporters at an event in Philadelphia, while former President Trump claimed victory while speaking to reporters.
And sound white.
This was my best debate.
6
I thought it
seconds
was
here. Our
very
country's
good.
the out. You stand by Heather.
two different visions for our country.
Mike under Q.
And both campaigns
43
will be
rated
taking
AJ.
a pause today. This, of course, to mark 23 years since the September 11th
I love that
attacks.
picture
There's
of
video right there of
Taylor.
Taylor Swift.
Oh, because
Because
I,
she
had
I took
forced
that part out of the
Vice President
script.
last night, the president.
It was still.
Those
God damn it.
candidates will return to
33.
the swing
Oh, that's my
states
fault.
tomorrow.
Mike AJ.
Both
Take.
vice presidential candidates did respond
Pretty
to the
sound and
debate.
Bravo.
Here's what each of them had to say about abortion.
Sound take.
The president's been very clear that
Run
he
for
doesn't want a
31
national
seconds
abortion
here.
ban. I think in some ways he finds the question a little bit
Double bite.
ridiculous
Donald
because
Trump's
why
the
are we
out
asking him about legislation that's never going to actually happen and why he would veto it or not veto it when he says very explicitly that he doesn't support a national abortion ban and he wants these policies to be made by the states.
Everything Donald Trump said, that is untrue. The clarity of this is
Pretty
Roe.
right.
When you have Roe, you have the first
Stand by, AJ.
protections in place where women make their own decisions with their healthcare providers, not Donald Trump.
Mike Web Q.
So the debate between Senator Vance and Governor
Pair of
Walz,
full
that's
screens
coming
here.
up on October 1st. You can watch it right here on WCCO. And remember, Election Day, that clock
42.
it is ticking down,
Pauline's
now
next.
55 days away. You
Stand
can
by,
count on
Pauline.
us to bring you the latest campaign updates on TV and our free streaming service, CBS News, Minnesota.
Take.
So, of course, Minnesota sounding off
boxes,
after
2
last
in
night's
Delhi.
debate as well.
A number of local organizations are chiming in after
Stand by,
a
Pauline.
contentious
Live
back and
desk.
forth between those two candidates. Pauline Lee
Microchip.
joining us from the live desk this morning. And Pauline, we know you've been doing your research to
Pretty
say,
Delhi.
what are people saying out there about this debate?
Yeah, we expect more
Take- you can just see the
responses
top of
coming in the
Sandra's
coming
head.
days as well. As we all know, this was a
Pretty
chance for
red.
voters to hear the candidates on the issues, especially important for Harris with her late start in this race, as polls show 1/3 of voters don't know where she stands on the issues. So DFL Chair
Key.
Ken Martin said in part, Kamala Harris's
Sound and
overwhelming
Charlie's
victory
next.
tonight set up a clear choice for Minnesotans in this election. A convicted felon who is running to gain power for himself versus a prosecutor who has fought her whole career to improve people's lives. And it's worth noting, we're still waiting to hear from a reaction from the Minnesota Republican Party as well. But our Republican analyst, Amy Koch, had this to say about the
Pretty
former
sound?
president's performance last night.
Sound Charlie.
I think that both of them had a mixed bag tonight. I don't think that Kamala Harris necessarily landed the final blows, and neither did the president. The former president was more disciplined in this debate than I've
Pretty
ever
red.
seen him, and he was more on message. He
Runs
missed
for
a couple
22 foreign
opportunities around
policies,
immigration,
yeah, Q.
but he absolutely landed when it came to economy, when it came to foreign policy.
And Mike Colleen, White
Let's
Q.
go back to that topic of immigration because one local immigration group here in Minnesota, the Minnesota Immigrant Rights Action Committee, says that category was a big miss for both candidates. Writing on Facebook, Trump
Just so you know that
racist
Amy
literal
Kochsot
versus
has a
immigrants from his
title
first
burned
statement
into
to
it.
his last.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Harris didn't refute his anti-immigration tirade. We'll keep organizing for immigration rights. Join us. Immigrants are welcome here. No more deportations. No one is illegal on stolen land. Hashtag debate
Mike Yankers,
2024.
pretty boxes
So
to
still
take.
clear even after one debate. Both
Pretty key
candidates
through to
have a lot
3.
to prove for voters in this final stretch of the election. guys.
And we know that might be the one unfolding debate there. All right, Pauline, thank you.
So something happening later today, you can see how accessible voting technology can help more people
Pretty
vote.
View and Alpha.
Hennepin County Elections
Take.
and Rev Up Minnesota will hold an open house at the Minneapolis Central Library
Pretty
that's
one.
downtown. There's technology there that helps show
Minute and a
ballots
half
in
to
large
the
print
Sheila,
or
minute and a half.
high contrast backgrounds. The machine can read the ballot to voters through headphones as well, and voters can make their choices using a
Mike
brand
Heather.
keypad, touchscreen, or sip and puff device.
Take.
The St. Louis County Board has given initial approval for next year's maximum property
Review
tax
and Bravo.
levy. Now, yesterday,
Take.
the board's committee of the whole agreed to a property tax
What is
levy
a
increase
sip-
of
sip-
7.23%.
Sip and puff
But since
device.
so many new homes have been built in St. Louis County over the past year,
Yeah.
that levy would be divided amongst
Pretty
more
three.
taxpayers. So someone who owns a $400,000 home would actually see a $10 decrease in their county portion of the property taxes. The St. Louis County Board will take a final vote
Mike
on
AJ.
September 24th.
Take.
The man who murdered a trans woman in
What do you feel,
Minneapolis
Charlie?
will learn his fate today.
Take.
38-year-old Savannah Williams found shot in the head in the area of East Lake Street and 4th Avenue South last
41.
November. The criminal complaint said 25-year-old Demarion Bible confessed to shooting her after meeting her at a bus stop and later having sex. The complaint says Bible shot Williams because she, quote, made him feel suspicious.
Mike Heather.
An
Take.
Anoka man
Pretty
is
View
now
and
charged
Alpha.
with shooting a gun outside of Northtown Mall
Take.
in Blaine. Those shots rang out on Sunday afternoon, and the
Pretty
Northtown
two,
Mall
Chiefs coming up.
was evacuated and put on lockdown. We could see shattered glass inside the doors there. Nobody was hurt. Now, police say they looked at surveillance video and saw a fight between two groups before the shooting. The state patrol trooper says he saw 20-year-old Maurice Nalon running from the scene. Nalon was arrested. He is now charged with multiple felonies related
Michael,
to the
42.
shooting.
Stand.
You need to know about an important measure
Joel,
on
stand
the
by.
ballot
Pretty
this
View and
fall in
Bravo.
St. Paul.
The
Take.
decision voters will have
Del
to make
Ford,
when it
Shayla.
comes to paying for childcare in the city. Shayla?
Mike Shalo, White Q. Joel, you're up.
Hello, Heather and AJ. Have you thought about yoga with cats? Well, we are trying it out today with some new friends here in Eden Prairie. We're going to talk about
Pretty
how
Joseph.
you
Pretty
can be a
one.
part of the class and make an impact when we come back.
Mike Joseph, White Q. Joel, you're clear.
Gone, darted away. We need the cat tree.
Stand by, break,
That's the
clear,
way
Sheila.
to do it. Okay, September rainfall. We had a little splash yesterday. We actually had a trace of rain, but we are over an inch behind now for the month of September. I've made some adjustments for the weekend. We may see some rain. We'll talk about that coming up.
And break us rolling. We're clear. Let's do some weathers with Joseph.
That blue.
hearing all the meows in my ear.
Okay, I'll be right there. Sorry, I had to finish up the message to Andy.
Aww. Little kitten meows.
She must be holding one because it's like right in my ear.
Alright, standing by. Charlie in 3, 2, 1. Sergeant Charlie, take. Mike Joseph, cue him.
Well, our summer in September continues. Today, temperatures back into the 80s. I think we get to probably the mid-80s this afternoon as well. So we're actually going to take it a little bit further as far as our temperatures go by a few
15.
degrees. 80 degrees by about lunchtime. Again, topping off about 85, probably heading into
10,
mid to late
9,
afternoon around 4
8,
to 5 p.m.
7,
Here are the highs across
6,
the metro area.
5,
There's also going to be a
4,
little haze out
3,
there due to wildfire
2,
smoke.
1. Okay, the next one. Alpha Sound in 3, 2, 1. Sound tape. Mike Joseph, cue him.
Okay, we're working through the week. It is Wednesday. Good morning to you today. Temperatures topping off in the mid-80s. Yeah, it's going to be another warm one for us. And we're actually going to be a little bit warmer than yesterday. And it's going to be a little
15.
breezy this afternoon, too. You may notice we have the sunshine here, but it's kind of filtered. That's because we will have
10,
wildfires
9,
passing by the
8,
area, lowering
7,
the air quality for some of
6,
you up in the northwest.
5,
Tonight,
4,
64 degrees.
3,
and we will call it a
2,
clear sky.
1. Wade, 2 weathers in. Anchors are at the eye stand. Joseph's at the pod. In just about 45 seconds here. $30. $15. Anchors need to be at the eye stand. 10 away.
Go to the eye stand.
Guys, eye stand.
I think they're going.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spin, fade. Mike Joseph, ready 1. And dissolve cue.
Okay, good morning. It's 6:42 here on this Wednesday.
Pretty
And our
max.
summer in September continues.
Take.
We're gonna get back
One's
into
clear.
the 80s. 85 degrees is the forecast.
About
High
4
today
minutes
by
away, Sheila,
10
4
a.m.
minutes.
mid-morning. Already
Key
in
through
the
the eye
70s
stand.
now. What you can't tell from those sun icons there is that
And
it's
they
going to
took
be a
away
little
the
hazy out
shot.
there. We have ongoing wildfire
I mean, that is
smoke
still the
pushing in from
memorial,
the west, and it's going to continue to bring in some hazy skies. So just know that it's not going to be that crystal blue sky as we get into the afternoon. 85 though, coming out of areas like New Hope, Bloomington
Okay,
today.
we do reference
85
the
for White Bear
ceremonies.
Lake.
That's
Yeah.
the
It'll be cool
ceremony
for
now.
New Richmond. I hope they have a great Wednesday. And Glencoe today coming in about 84 degrees. All right, tonight 64.
Almost
We're
made it
looking
with the
pretty
static
clear
shot
out
there.
I think we'll be able to
Almost.
see the stars. Maybe still a little hazy
just
out there
switched
because
it.
of the wildfire smoke even
Right.
at night.
Stand by. Key 3 to 1.
And tomorrow, 87 degrees, summer heat. I just want to remind people that we only hit 97 times this summer, so upper 80s is actually
FYI,
pretty warm
9/11
for
ceremonies
us,
have begun,
at
it
least
looks
this
like.
year. So it is going to be a hot one. I'll let you know when we're actually going to cool on down, though. I'll have that part of my forecast
Come
going about
on, Joseph. What are
Key.
you doing?
4 Minnesotans died on 9/11
Pretty
in
red?
2001.
Gordy Amos Jr.,
Key.
Gary Keckler were inside the Twin Towers. Tom Burnett Jr. was on United Flight 93.
Oh, and now they switched it
heroically
back.
fought back against
Pretty
the
dull
hijackers
free.
on his plane. And Master Sergeant Max Bielke died in the Pentagon attack. We want to
Dissolve.
give you right now a live look at the 9/11 Memorial in Lower Manhattan, getting word that the May things just may be getting underway. Ceremonies happening this morning, of course, to remember all the victims. We know that President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris are headed to the ceremonies in New York and Pennsylvania.
Telling him
along with
because they were
Pentagon.
showing something
Former
not
President
this.
Donald Trump is expected to
Yeah.
attend the 9/11 observances
Ready
in
for
New
you on
York
Charlie.
and Pennsylvania.
Dissolve.
For
41.
your money this morning, Americans saw their incomes rise last year,
Dissolve.
and that's even after
What are you viewing,
accounting for
Alpha?
inflation.
So the Census Bureau reports median household income
Take.
rose to $80,610 in 2023. That's up
Where you want
4% from the
Use
previous
the
year.
radar.
The Bureau
Tell
says this is the first statistically significant yearly increase in inflation-adjusted median household income since 2019.
Take.
And if you live in St. Paul,
Pretty
you
red.
may soon have to pay more in property taxes.
The high cost of childcare, front and center in Minnesota's capital
Pretty
city
sound
this
and Bravo.
election. A question on the St. Paul ballot this November will ask voters if they want to pay more to help low-income families. Nearly 30% of children in the city live under the federal poverty line. Caroline Cummings reports on the plan and why not everyone is on board.
Sound cute.
The cost of daycare can be a drag
All right, back to
on
the desk.
family
Adrian
budgets.
tags it on
It's
3.
simply too
Minute 40 standard
expensive
out
for
to
some
you.
to afford it. In Ramsey County, the median monthly cost for childcare
Sheila,
is more
from
than
the
$1,000 per month or
Literally, when I told you
$13,000
guys
a
the
year.
stuff was
It's why
was
St. Paul
going
City
on,
Councilmember Rebecca
we
Nager
were
says
able to
it's
see
time
it,
to think
and then they
outside
switched back
the
to the
box.
Static Shock.
We need a solution, and we've been looking to the state for years for a solution, and despite some progress, we still have this huge need for hundreds of
And now
kids.
they're back
So
to
I
showing,
think it's
like,
time
the
for
actual
the city of St.
ceremonies
Paul to
going
step
on.
up and lead the way.
If voters approve this ballot measure this fall, residents' property taxes would increase through a special
Like, right
levy to
before I
rake
took
in
it, they
$2
switched it
million
right back to
in the
that
first
static
year,
shock.
then it would scale up each year, so $20 million is collected in a single year after a decade of implementation. The city would use the funding
I
for an early
tried.
childhood program, providing subsidies to eliminate or reduce out-of-pocket childcare costs for low-income families.
We'll help them apply for state assistance first, and then yes, our dollars will be the last
Well,
resort.
there
to
was
help
also
fill that
the
gap.
But not everybody is on board.
That-
Mayor
that
Melvin
cop
Carter issued
and
a
firefighter
rare
memorial
veto to
looking
the
thing.
proposal last year before the city council overrode that decision.
About
putting it
30
before
left in this
voters
package.
fall. When he vetoed it, he applauded the goal, but he questioned if the program can really deliver on its promises based on the amount of resources and city staff available. In a new statement to us, he says, quote, between misleading ballot
I tried to
language,
tell them
the
what was
absence of
going on,
required campaign
and then they
finance
switched it up.
disclosures, and the first public details arriving 9 days before polling begins, our voters are repeatedly
10,
denied
stand by.
the needed transparency to cast an informed vote on this
AJ on three.
$110 million tax increase.
Stand by.
In St. Paul, Caroline Cummings, WCCO News.
Mike, I'm taking Q.
The City Council will get its last update
Joel,
on the
stand
program
by, you're
design this
next.
afternoon. By the way,
Mike,
early voting in Minnesota begins next Friday.
Q-Take.
So when you think about working out,
boxes, 2 and
cute
4.
may not be the first thing that comes to your mind.
Cute?
Cute.
I need that
What
person.
organization
Thank you.
trying to change that with animals? Shayla Reeves is in Eden
Mike
Prairie this
Shayla,
morning to tell
take
us about a
Kelly, you're up.
special cat workout. Shayla,
What did you tell for?
how's it going with the cat so far?
Take.
So we are getting used to, we as in me, getting used to the cats. I've held a couple of cats so far this morning, and yeah, this is a really exciting new offering for Wellspring Health Center here in Eden Prairie. I'm trying to make new friends. I've become a jungle jam, but Haley Talatinic here is with Bitty Kitty Brigade. You all have a really important job of rescuing the tiniest of most vulnerable cats here in the Twin Cities, making sure that they're healthy enough to finally leave you and go to a forever home. The ones that start are about 0 to 5 weeks, and the ones in there in this class are in the range of 6 to 10 weeks, right?
Correct.
Yes. So tell us about their role in the yoga class here behind us.
Yeah, so they have a really big job. They are, number one, getting socialized, which
Yes.
is super important because
Yes.
fosters come from all walks of life. And for the most part, they're participating in the class just like anybody else, running around, playing, getting some good snuggles.
Cute little puff
Yes, and
balls.
you've got a couple of friends here with you.
Yes, I have creme brulee and tiramisu.
Oh my
Very
gosh.
cute. And these are siblings, right?
Correct.
Okay. What has response
How can
been
you
like
tell
to
them
the
apart?
class so far?
It's been tremendous. I mean, this is a really unique opportunity. It's super fun. It generally sells out in a couple days, which is how you know the community is really responding to the efforts that we're making.
And it's got to feel pretty good when you're ultimately trying to
What
get
would be
a
funny
forever
is if
home.
one of
You
those
see that
kittens,
cat
like
connect with that
when they're doing
person
that, like,
in
you know,
class.
cross-legged
And
pose,
they're coming
jumps
up
in
to
the
you
lap and just
saying,
curls up and
"How
falls
does
asleep."
adoption work? How does foster work? How does this work?
Exactly. It's always a positive sign just seeing
30.
your cats make a connection in general.
Or if
And
they're
to
like, you know,
going to be a success story for each.
I was saying it would be funny if one of the kittens
And,
like curled up
a
in
lot of
like
people
one of the
do
laps
ask
as
what
they
the
were
next steps
doing
are
yoga,
at the end
or
of the class,
you know,
which
you're
is
down doing
so
your
exciting
child's
just
pose and the
as
cat
far
just
as
jumps on your
exposure
back.
goes. Kittens are available at 10 weeks old. We do require that they have a buddy at home or they go home in a pair so they can be really well socialized throughout their life.
In this particular class, 80% of the proceeds go to the work that's happening with Bitty Kitty Brigade. How does that money help you? What work do you have to do to make sure these kitties are ready for their forever home?
Yeah, so that's an incredibly generous give from this particular Wellspring Clinic. The majority of our expenses are going to vet care. We strive to be the absolute best as far as what we're making available to the kittens, because we want them to have the best chance at life, best quality life. So vet care and food are probably the biggest expenses that we incur.
Well, Haley, thank you for being here.
Okay, ready boxes,
This is
2
another
and Del
cool,
form.
sort of fundraiser for them. A 10-year-old made these biodegradable pots with the succulents and these other biodegradable pieces that are going to be for sale. The proceeds from that also going towards the work that's happening with Bitty Kitty Brigade.
Make the anchors tick.
How fun.
Good stuff.
Nick, stand by. You're
Not
next.
one kitty, you gotta take 2 kitties.
2 kitties.
2 kitties.
That's okay. They're
Yes.
socializing. They're having
Everybody
fun.
needs a friend.
Everybody needs a friend.
I'm gonna catch them hot as they do
Yes,
with post
yes. You guys are friends on the morning. You each need a cat. Do you want Joel and I to bring you a cat back? Joel can.
You know, Shayla, I think that would be better for you because I know we're still going through some things with animals right now. I think that would be a great
I want
introducer
one
story
of
pack for
creme
you.
brulee or the other tiramisu.
Yeah.
Chewy doesn't need a friend.
We don't need to talk about that right now. That's fine. We're all stuffed up here. We're all stuffed up.
All right, Jill, thank you.
Nick,
Step
grab-
outside this morning, take a live
All right, Jill,
look
you're clear.
over the skyline. of
Review on
St.
Charlie.
Paul.
Charlie
You
food
can
box
see
2
some of
and
that haze starting to make
7.
its way in. We are feeling that wildfire smoke coming in
Mike
from
Joseph
out west.
dissolve.
We got Joseph Dames
Nick,
here,
you
though.
clear?
But thankfully, it's not going to
3
affect our
boxes, 2 and 7,
breathing here, at
dissolve.
least on the ground
47.
in our part of the state.
Yeah, air quality's in the green, maybe a couple
Take.
spots in the yellow there when it starts to get to a moderate level, but the persistent haze is going to be out there.
Alright,
It's kind of
29.
moving up from the
20.
wildfire smoke from the
Something.
wildfires
No,
out west and also up in Canada.
CBS
We're gonna get
mornings
a double
tease.
dose of that for today. Now, there's a couple
Sorry, Nick.
locations where there going to be some air quality problems. We talked about that earlier. The air quality alerts up through the Red River Valley or towards Bemidji and those type of locations here for today. All right, the heat, it continues. We're going to have an extended period of time of some warmer days, and temperatures actually getting warmer today and tomorrow. We're building on the heat, which was already a good 7 to 8 degrees above average. I don't have a lot of rain in the forecast, but I did make some adjustments heading into the weekend.
90.
That does include some rain, so we will discuss that as we work through the forecast here shortly. All right, I want to show you the smoke forecast here. This is a different smoke model than I was showing you the last couple of days. This one's a little bit better at gathering what's going on in the short term. So let me show you what's happening for today. I would just expect this kind of red tone around for most of today. In fact, it might even get a little bit darker up to the northwest. And it's really the whole western section of the state and then extending up through about Beltrami County there, where I do believe that we'll see our most impactful air quality problems at the surface level. Smoke forecast as we go into Thursday morning starts clearing up in the southwest before it kind of sweeps back through as that smoke is departing the area, but the wind pattern kind of brings it back for a little bit. So I do think it's going to be hazy for the remainder of the week. We are dry. Here's the rain from yesterday evening, now over areas closer to Green Bay and Milwaukee. This is Hurricane Francine down to the south, which is going to pull a lot of moisture up to the north over the next few days.
30.
And it will even seep into areas of the upper Midwest by the weekend. And I believe that's going to increase our chances for maybe a couple showers Saturday night, and we'll have to watch Sunday as well. Highs today in the mid-80s. We'll have that haziness around. You can't see that in the weather model, but it will be there. Tomorrow morning, we wake up in the mid-60s again, and then we get back to the mid to upper 80s for tomorrow's
10.
forecast. I just want to show you what's going to happen late Friday night. Now weather models are picking up on maybe some showers and storms there heading into Saturday morning. That may be our first round, and then another round later Saturday night. We cool down somewhat into the lower 80s after battling
Preview
upper
on Bravo
80s today.
respin.
Down to
Tim
about
Anchor
80
Mike's.
degrees on Tuesday there. I don't think we break our streak of 80s until probably
Nick, I'll let
midweek of
Wade
next
know about
week.
that
So
shot. He'll
we are
probably use it at the
continuing our
end.
warmer weather for the next 7 days.
Mike Spin
Thanks,
take.
Joseph. Coming up today on mid-morning, the food and
What do you want,
culture
Vio and
youth
Charlie?
experience as a Minnesota street food festival.
But first, we are back
Stand
with
by
the four
break.
things you need to know for today. That's straight ahead. That includes local reaction to the presidential debate.
And break is rolling. Clear.